Alright guys, so welcome back. Let's actually start working through some of these problems. So we're going to start pretty simple and then we'll get into some bigger problems. Alright, so on your screen here we have a 3a plus 9 minus a. So if you want to talk about the pieces, 3 is a coefficient, a variable, 9 is a constant, and then we have a -1 as a coefficient here and a variable of a. So let's talk about what are like terms, okay? So, and color pencils are cool to use here, so if you want to pause and like get color pencils, colored pens or whatever, color coding this really helps when you're starting out learning this. So 3a is going to be a like term with the minus a or minus 1a. And then this guy is a constant, so he's kind of on his own. All right, so now right below, you combine whatever you can combine together. So the only thing here that are like terms is our two terms that have a, and a matches, it's raised to the same power, they're both to the first power. So now I just take what's in these circles and I just do what it says, 3a minus a. That gives me 2 a's. And then this guy is just along for the ride down here. So he just comes down. So plus 9. So 2a plus 9. Boom. That's it. That's all I do, guys. I don't do anything else. All right. So if we come over here, we have a term of 18. It's a constant. So I'm looking for other constants. This guy, constant, plus 6. And then here we have this 4b, he's kind of all by himself. And then I'm going to tell you that as you move through math modeling and into algebra, especially in algebra, they like your stuff with variables to come first and constants to hang out in the back. Okay? So let's look at, we'll just bring down the 4b. Okay? And then 18, and I'm just going to do what's in the circle. 18 plus 6. Well, that gives me 24, right? So this is all I can do. I can't combine these guys because this guy has a variable and this guy doesn't. So apples and oranges here, we can't add them together. Not the same kind of fruit. Okay? So then let's look at another one. So here we have a -8c plus 4 minus 5. So I'm looking for things that are the same. So there's only this guy that has a c in it. So he's all by himself. And then my constants are my 4 and the -5. Okay, now I just come and stuff with variables goes first. So I just write my minus 8c because he doesn't have any like terms, nothing else with a c in this problem. And then 4 minus 5. I'm subtracting more than I started with, so I wind up at a -1. And this is all I can do. I've combined everything that's like terms. And your directions on these would say simplify the expression. I have simplified it because I've gone from 3 terms, so you see them right here, 1, 2, 3, to 2 terms. So I've simplified. Okay? And then let's look over here. So we have 14t plus 15 minus t, 2t. All right, so we have 14t. And then notice I'm circling that negative sign. So these guys are like terms. They both have a t and it's to the first power. And then we have a 15. He's a constant hanging out by himself. All right, so let's go and combine like terms. So 14t minus 2t. That's 12t, right? And then when you handwrite these, make sure you put a little anchor, make him look like a little anchor, a little curve there, so that way we don't think he's a plus sign. And then I'm just going to bring down my 15 because he's a constant, can't be combined with the 12t, so we're done. And we simplified because we've gone from 3 to 2. Let's see what else I've got in here. If you want to try those, so you can pause and try those. Let's see. All right, let's look at this one real quick. So we have... we're looking for like terms, so everything with a variable. So minus 4y, that negative sign, like your operating sign has to go with the term behind it. Okay, and then 5y plus. That plus sign's got to come with that 5y. All right, now we have more than just those two terms. We have this 10 and this minus 8. Well, they're constant. See, there's no variable. So we have a 10 and we have a minus 8. So the first thing, we're going to do the stuff with the variables first, because in algebra they like those variables to come first when you're writing out your answer. So we're going to treat this, since this is first, we're going to treat this as if it's a negative 4. So negative 4 plus 5. Okay, well that's just 1. So that's just 1y. But we're not going to write the 1, we're just going to write a y. Because it's implied that if I have a y there and there's no coefficient, it's just 1. All right, and then 10 minus an 8. So I'm going to use what's in this circle. So 10 minus 8 is going to give me 2. And that's a positive 2, so I'm going to put a plus sign. That's how I know what sign to put there. Okay, and then this is done. This is I've combined like terms, and this is simplified because I've gone from 4 terms down to 2 terms. Okay, and then let's see what else I have. I need to show you something with distributive property in it. You can do that one if you want, and we can tell you if it's right if you bring it in. All right, so let's look at this one with distributive property in it. Okay, so we have this problem here, and it's 2 times the quantity of m minus 1 and then plus 6. Now plus 6 is just outside the parentheses, so he's just hanging out there like, hey, what's up? Do you guys want to come out and play? And the m and the 1 are like, yeah, we want to come out and play. But we have to release them from their little house, their little parentheses here. So how do we do that? Well, hopefully you recognize anytime that you have a number out front of a set of parentheses with something being added or subtracted, boom, that's my distributive property. Hopefully you need to start to like recognize that on sight, because it's going to be buried inside a problem. Here it starts right out in the front, but sometimes it's going to be buried in the middle of a long thing, like a long problem that needs to be combined, and you're going to see that in one of the activities that I have for you. And sometimes it has to be done twice, sometimes it's at the end, so you've got to recognize like this piece right here, boom, before I do anything, I got to distribute. Before I can start combining any like terms, got to distribute. Okay, so that I need 2 sets of m minus 2. So 2m, so that's just 2 times m. Well, I can't do anything because I don't know what m is, so that's all I can do with that for right now. And then 2 times this, notice minus 1. So that becomes minus 2. And then this plus 6, he just drops straight down behind it. Okay, it was behind the distributed property stuff, so it's going to be behind when I write out everything, when I work out and use my distributed property. Now I'm getting into my combining like terms stuff. So I look and I say, oh, there's only one term that has a variable in it, and that's my 2m. So I'm just going to take, and he just drops down into my answer. Now I'm going to switch colors here. Your negative 2, since he's first, we're going to treat him like a negative 2. And my plus 6, constants. So they need to be combined into one term. So a negative 2 plus 6, that's going to give me plus 4. And that's how I know how to write a plus 4 here, because the result of this is a positive 4, so I put a plus 4. And then this is my answer. I am done. I had this messy thing with distributed property and this constant, and then I turned it into 3 terms, and now I've turned it into 2 terms. So I've cleaned this up and I've simplified. So notice how my directions say simplify the expression. That's what they want right there. Okay? So I have a couple problems below for an exit slip. One where you're just combining a bunch of like terms, and the other one has a distributed property in it. So type in your answer, and we'll look at that and see if that's right. And good luck, and talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye.